It is always a pleasure to be in Brazil. It is an honor and a profound privilege to address this historic assembly at the inaugural China, Latin America, and Caribbean States Roundtable on Human Rights. Today I am filled with hope and determination. This moment is just not an occasion to celebrate the successes of our collaboration, but also a pivotal juncture to renew our collective commitment to advancing human rights, particularly in a period when human rights seem to be determined not by the inherent rights of people, but by the foreign policy interests of certain imperial powers. This redefinition of human rights in real terms witnesses tens of thousands of women, children, and other non-combatants murdered and bombed in Palestine, in both Gaza and the West Bank. This act of genocide is given normality when those powers arm and provide destructive weapons to the state of Israel. They even go so far as protecting and defending Israel against the reaches of the International Criminal Court. Today's human rights discussion cannot be meaningful unless and until the slaughter of the Palestinian people becomes the principal discussion of what must constitute a redefinition of international human rights. This meeting must end with a clear call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire, an end to the illegal occupation, and the recognition of the state of Palestine with full sovereign rights. In our own Caribbean region, human rights must also consider the more than 60-year embargo against Cuba and its people, which has brought untold devastation to the Cuban economy and continues to pose immense difficulties for the Cuban people. The sanctions placed on Venezuela have forced millions to flee their homeland and are wreaking havoc on the economic livelihoods of those who remain. These matters go to the core of international human rights. We cannot separate human rights from the international rights of states, particularly the principle of non-interference in the internal affairs of nations. The natural disasters heaped on our region by climate change must also be included in the definition of international human rights. In just a few hours, 110% or more of GDP can be wiped out, as happened in Grenada during Hurricane Ivan in 2004, and was repeated recently in Grenada's island wards during the passage of Hurricane Beryl on July 1st, 2024. In our Caribbean archipelago of island states, climate change is an essential element in defining human rights. Against this backdrop of issues, I bring to this most important assembly, critical elements that must be incorporated into our thinking, definitions, and programmatic actions as we discuss human rights. The People's Republic of China, through its rapid growth and development, has positively changed the dynamics of international human rights relationships. China's policy of peace and development provides the best basis for the further consolidation and development of international human rights. The South has found a true friend in the People's Republic of China, and the value of this friendship has brought development and progress to millions of the world's poor and dispossessed who have been kept in these states by systems of slavery, colonialism, and imperial order. Under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, China has successfully navigated its independence and consolidated its development, and I am happy, therefore, to participate in this assembly to discuss the questions that confront us as we advance shared solutions. As a member of Parliament in Grenada, I am pleased to convey the progress and aspirations that define our regional and bilateral partnership with China. This bond exemplifies a shared vision for a more just and equitable world. Our joint efforts have laid a solid foundation for progress and the development of all our citizens. Our progress is significant, but it is not the end of the journey. We must forge ahead with renewed vigor, embracing the challenges and opportunities that lie before us. Let us continue to harness the power of our partnership to address inequalities, defend freedoms, and build a sustainable future for all. Our collective action today will define the world of tomorrow. I thank you.